Hello, it's GotAUkulele. Sorry for the delay on this one, busy weekend. I've been wanting to feature one of these for quite a while. This is just a summary, written review, linked below. Consider the Patreon, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's keep this going. This is an electric ukulele, a solid steel-strung electric ukulele. A bit of a double header on the name because this is a Les Paul Tenor, marketed in the UK under the brand name of Clearwater, which is what this one is, but in the USA under the name of Vorson. Exactly the same instrument though. The names are garbled codes. They're in the video name. It's Clearwater in the UK, it's Vorson in the USA. They're the same instrument. It's a solid Les Paul tenor ukulele. I wanted to do one for a while. I've heard all sorts of opinions on these, good and bad, and it comes on the heels of the Risa Les Paul review that I did, which was a stunner. So this is another electric, solid, steel strung pickups, electric guitar in a ukulele shape. Tenor scale, as I say, Les Paul, because that's a Les Paul body shape, like a single cut. It's like a Les Paul Junior or a Melody Maker, but it doesn't have the decoration adherence to the Les Paul standard that the Risa had. The Risa looked just like a Les Paul. This is Les Paul in shape, but that's about it. Okay, did a bit of research on the wood because I didn't know what it was. It's actually made of a wood called candlenut wood, all solid. Obviously, it's a plank of wood. It's an Indonesian hardwood. It's basswood. It's cheap basswood. It looks like it's got a drop top on it that could be flamed maple, although that's not in the specs, but it's really rather pretty. As you can see, this one's in sunburst, also comes in red and black and some other colours. This is the sunburst. I really rather like that. So you've got that sunburst polished out there, showing some of that stripe. It's book matched. Sorry, the computer's going funny. It's book matched, and then on the back, obviously, you just get the dark stain. The finish is really good everywhere. There's no flaws. I can't find any bubbles, pulls, chips, marks, anything at all. No other decoration though, so no binding, no pickguard, nothing like that, like the Risa has. So the only decoration you're looking at here are the controls, and that's my first gripe with it really, because they're clearly straight out of a guitar parts bin. On the Risa, they had specially made parts to make them smaller. These are huge knobs that you find on a Telecaster. That selector knob is massive and cheap, and those micro adjustable saddles, which is Fender style, are overly big as well, and they're really cheap too, sort of pressed metal. Saying all of that, you know, they do their job, don't they? But looks wise, I think that really lets it down. The pickups are a pair of single coils. I can't see where the pole pieces are like you can on the Risa, so I don't know whether they're matched up to the string positions, but they're adjustable for height. Other than that, you get a couple of strap buttons, the control hatch on the back, and the jack socket down here, which I've got it plugged in for, because this makes no noise really at all when it's not plugged in. It's meant to be plugged in. Alright, up to the neck. This is made of maple. Beautiful satin finish on the back of it. There's a joint here, there's another joint down here somewhere, but it's really smooth and nice. It's really overly rounded up at the neck. No zero fret like on the Risa to help with intonation, and it's really narrow as well. It's about 35mm. That's narrow for a tenor. However, these are steel strings. They're really thin strings, so width doesn't matter so much up here as it would with an acoustic instrument. So I'll give it a pass on that. Topping that is what they call composite rosewood. So that's cheap layered up wood that's stained to look like rosewood, but it is edge bound, kind of edge bound, edge stained to hide the fret ends. And something I'm seeing more and more of is people glossing fretboards. This is covered in a gloss. I think that's really ugly. Why would you want to do that? Give me bare wood and oil it. Really don't like that. It just picks up fingerprints. It looks weird. Still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to the top of the body, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The frets are really skinny, no sharp edges. Outward facing dot markers at 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 and 15, and you get dots on the side as well. That's alright. I like the headstock shape because it's different. You've got a truss rod cover there for adjusting relief on the neck. not for adjusting action as people think. It's about putting a bow in the neck, which this is set up really nicely. Faced in black gloss. With the Clearwater version you get the Clearwater logo. On the Vorson it says Vorson up here. And the tuners are sealed chrome gears with kidney shaped buttons. They're generic, got nothing more to say about them really. The strings are clearly middle strings, I think, unwound strings of an electric guitar. Don't ask me what the gauges are because they don't tell me, but the Risa gauges are probably a good one to go off. And unlike the Risa, which is several £100s, this is available for £130 or indeed $130 in the Vorson version. That's pretty good. One omission with the Clearwater version is you don't get a gig bag with it, which I'd want because it's a slightly unusual shape, but you do get a gig bag with the Vorson. So there we are. Lucky Americans, not so lucky Brits. But like I say, it's put together really, really well. I do generally like the looks. I don't like the large guitar parts. I don't like the gloss fingerboard, but it's not unattractive, is it? I mean, it really isn't unattractive. I love that flaming and sunburst on it. As I say, I've heard a few reports about these and they weren't good on quality. But like I say to people when I reviewed the Epiphone Les Paul badly, and people said to me, you've got it all wrong because mine is great. I'm sure theirs is great, but I can only review the one that's in front of me, so I can only review this one. And thankfully, my observations are pretty good on this one. So let's put it on a clean setting. So I've got it running into a Yamaha amplifier. Obviously you can plug this into anything. There's a touch of buzz from the pickups, but they're single coils buzz. I've got a fluorescent light in this room. That's probably causing the buzz. My Stratocaster buzzes. This is clean. That's alright. Not that you'd play it in clean, I don't think. The A string is a touch quieter, but that might be just changeable just by bringing up the raising that side of the pickup. And obviously being pickups, the sustain goes on and on and on and on. It's set up well as well. But like I say, you're not going to play this clean, are you? No, you're not. You're going to put it onto something like this. Now, what I'll say is the Risa had more sort of meat to it, more thickness to the tone. Even with this on distortion, I've got the gain up, and you can hear that buzz coming in now. Still sounds a bit thin. What I will say, the controls down here, nice and smooth. Tone. So you can fatten it a bit with the tone. Pickup selectors. Hours of fun. I don't like doing videos where you're listening to an amplifier because it depends on the amp, but you could put delay, reverb, there's no point in me really playing it. Clearwater or Vorson. Electric Les Paul style tele ukulele. I'm really pleasantly surprised with this one. You can have a lot of fun with the right amplifier and an effects setup. It's built well, it plays well. I don't like some bits like the big guitar parts, but I do generally like the looks of it. And like I say, I can only review the one in front of me. Go carefully if you're buying one of these, because I do hear some worries about quality control. But you can always send them back and get another one based on this one. And I bought this. This wasn't sent to me set up perfectly by a dealer. It was bought blind. I really rather like it. Vorson Clearwater electric solid steel strung tenor ukulele. Back next week, more coming soon. Back to normal ukuleles, acoustic ukuleles. Got some really nice stuff coming. As I say, be sure to read the full written review below. Why not think about the Patreon? Helps keep this site going. It really, really does. And subscribe to the channel, and then you'll know when I've got a new one out. I'll be back next week. Enjoy your week ahead. See you very soon.